What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Keone, who revealed his 13 weeks out physique update. He was guest posing at the NPC national qualifiers, and a look at 13 weeks out, that I have to say is just nuts. So I think there is a mutual consensus out there that no one can beat him from the front at this year's Miss Olympia. The only pose that Keone lost to Sean from the front, that was the most muscular pose. Fact of the matter is he is just too pretty and too wide from the front. The way he opens up for that front double biceps and that front lat spread, his huge thick lats, plus his super tapered down waistline, that is just too incredible. And unfortunately for Sean, these are the first two poses that the judges ask you to hit. So by the time they turn around, which is Sean's strength, Keone already takes so much lead by that time. So Keone's condition for 3 months out of the Olympia, that looks so great. And to be fair, Keone has been able to stay extremely lean throughout this offseason, which is a big win for him. So I don't think Keone weighed 200 pounds on the stage at the Olympia last year. He was in the high 190s. But the weight really doesn't matter for a guy like Keone, because he is able to create such an insane illusion on the stage. He looks a lot bigger on the basis of his aesthetics. So a glimpse of his back from this recent guest posing, that is also gonna blow away your minds. Even if Sean is able to bring that exact same look that he brought at the Olympia 2022, where he walked all over the competition, I think even then it is gonna be really hard to beat this new version of Keone. Next up, we have some new physique updates from Nick Walker. So those are the same exact 3 shots that he posted 5 years ago. And for whatever reason, he isn't revealing his legs, which is the biggest concern for Nick Walker, since the judges want to see a bigger and better quad sweep, so that he can create more V-taper on the stage, so that he can have better X-frame. So anyone has noticed how wide Nick Walker is looking in that side chest shot. Easily one of his favorite shots to hit, not to mention one of his strongest pose. So Nick got some major feedback after this year's New York Pro, especially about his side chest shot, because at times Nick was hitting that pose in a way that was compromising his width and making it less dominant over Martin Fitzwater. So most of these top competitors, and that includes Nick Walker as well, they aren't going to be posting a lot of physique updates, especially after that 10 to 12 weeks out mark. So Nick in particular mentioned that he wants to stay covered up for this one. So at his last Miss Olympia, Nick placed third, beating 2 former Olympians, Behrooz and Brandon Kerry. But for him to place top 3 again, he will have to beat a guy whose name is Samson Dauda. Was able to beat him at their last show together, and that was the Arnold Classic 2023. And keep in mind, Samson was able to beat him with perfect scores. So what are your expectations from Nick? Can he finish in the top 3? Can he beat a guy like Samson Dauda again? Next up, we have a 2 weeks out physique update from Spin Pro champion William Bonac, who posed for the fans in Germany today. So he looks so ready for this upcoming battle, where the undisputed winner will be decided, because the last 3 shows, the judging that we saw was kinda strange. So at Spin Pro, William Bonac was able to beat Behrooz. At Flex Pro Italy, Behrooz was able to beat a very good version of Nathan D'Asia, and then Nathan was able to beat Bonac at Portugal Pro. So all these guys went back and forth beating each other. So we have no idea which way the judges are gonna lean at this year's Dubai Pro. So William was pretty much the same in Portugal as he was in Spain, but he lost to Nathan D'Asia. And the thing is, there is so little time between all these shows that you just cannot expect to see some major changes in the physique. Maybe William Bonac can show up harder, because that is his calling card. William Bonac is gonna be the most narrow guy on the stage, especially in that top 4. And that is really gonna hurt him, especially in the front shots. But he's also gonna be that guy who's gonna have the most density and the most muscle maturity. Not to mention he is just far ahead of the pack in those back shots. So will Bonac be able to peak 100% in Dubai, which is gonna be his 3rd show of the year? So that is a critical question. And more importantly, can he beat these guys again? So you guys have all watched Brandon Kerry's update standing in that famous doorway from the Oxygen Gym in Kuwait. So here is Behrooz in that similar setting. So Behrooz, I guess, is the safest bet to win this year's Dubai Pro. He has the mass, he has the symmetry, he has the aesthetics. Plus he is arguably one of the most conditioned guy out there. So Rubil Mosquera is gonna be the biggest guy on stage, and that too by quite some margin. But time and time again, we have seen that size just isn't everything. So if Behrooz can somehow get more separation, especially in his quads from the front, he is gonna be so much more dangerous. So the people who had this argument that Nathan D'Asia should have won over Behrooz at Flex Pro Italy, based on the fact that he had more separation, more lines in his quads. Plus, he was harder and fuller than Behrooz, especially in some areas. But Behrooz was able to improve on his look from Spain to Italy. And that Italy version of Behrooz, that could have beaten William Bonac as well. Because that was such a close show between these two guys. It was only a 1-point difference. So if this same trend continues, and Behrooz brings an even better package here at Dubai Pro in 2 weeks' time, I think he is gonna be the favorite to win this show. So not a physique update from Nathan Diesha, just the caption under his latest post, that the man is all ready again for another battle in 2 weeks' time. So Nathan Diesha believes that he won 6 out of 8 shots against Behrooz Tabani in Italy. But the judges saw it the other way. I mean, the judges gave Behrooz Tabani a clear victory over Nathan Diesha, both at the prejudging as well as at the finals. But this only means that Nathan Diesha in his heart truly believes that he can beat Behrooz Tabani here in Dubai. So far, these guys have competed against each other twice, and Behrooz came out on top both times. First at Romania Pro last year, and then this year's Italy Pro. So Nathan also went toe-to-toe with Rubel Mosquera last year at Prague, and he got beat by Rubel as well. So this upcoming show, this is gonna be like a redemption for Nathan. So do let me know what you guys think. Who is your favorite to win this year's Dubai Pro? Can Nathan Diesha beat the odds? Next up is the physique update of Roman Fritz. So Roman isn't planning to do 10 shows this year, and he also doesn't plan to return to the stage, unless he's sure that he has put on enough size, enough mass on his frame to be a top-level Olympian. So as of right now, he looks really great at 275 pounds. So his quads have always been a very strong point for him, and it seems like they have gotten even better. So the side chest in particular looks so great on Roman, but he knows that he needs to work on his shoulder width. He needs to have overall more size on his upper half. So Roman has some of the biggest legs in the men's open right now. He got a chance to stand next to the winning champion Derek Lunsford at the Olympia last year. And that really showed how great his proportions are, especially in the lower half. So him competing in 10 shows last year, maybe that wasn't the right decision. Because for Roman to win a pro show again, especially with the competition that we are seeing right now, he's gonna need more size. And I think he has to be one of the most gifted athletes. In terms of how peeled he can get every time he steps on stage, his conditioning is always spot on. None of us have any complaints on how he peaked for all 10 of those shows last year. I mean, even right now at 275 pounds, his glutes are still striated, and that is just insane. Lastly, we have Andrew Jacked, showing his insane strength at 4 weeks out of his first show of the year. And this is most probably gonna be his only show before this year's Miss Olympia. So doing 150 kgs of dumbbells for reps, that is exceptional strength, considering that he's deep in his prep right now. Everyone noticed that extra mass that Andrew has been able to pack on in this offseason. He has those 3D round delts, great arms, one of the best chest and abs in the men's open right now. Ever since Andrew turned pro, he has only one weakness, the lack of thickness in his back and his hamstrings. But Andrew is one of those guys who has made the biggest improvements from one show to the next. And this is the first time he had a proper offseason, and that is gonna make him a lot more competitive and a lot more dangerous. So he's a master of holding those poses on the stage. We saw how composed he was at last year's Texas Pro against Hunter Labrada, and he did not fade at all. He stood there like an absolute statue. And that Texas Pro look, that was the standard set by Andrew for himself. And there is every reason to believe that he's gonna surpass that package in every aspect in 4 weeks' time. He is a top 5 Olympian, and if Andrew has been able to make all those improvements, he can take on Nick Walker as well as Brandon Curry. And he might be able to take on Samson Dauda as well. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.